YouTube. Today in the Naughty Librarian, I'm going over my March TBR list. Oh man, I am actually so pumped for March. I am so excited. I know I say that every month, but like legit, I've got some really cool books on deck that I have been so excited about. I have been like dying to tell you guys what I have on deck because it's so good. It's so good. Okay, I can't wait anymore. Let's just go. Let's go. This is what I'm reading in March. First up, I have Highland Treasure by Lindsay Sands. This is just going to be a book candy delight. It is, it's a Highlander romance, and they're all kind of the same basically, but we are following one of the many Buchanan brothers, and this time in particular we're following Rory. He is a healer, a doctor, so this cover makes no sense because he is a soft boy doctor, and that's why I like him. He would not be this brawny. It makes zero sense, but whatever. We're gonna move past that. He has to help this Lady Elisande to get to somewhere else because she's getting hunted by British people. So they're helping this lady out. And like in every book of this series, like literally all of them, there's someone trying to murder this lady and they gotta figure out who it is and stop the murder plot. All of the books are the same and I don't care. I like them. Book candy. It's going to be fun. So you might be wondering, hey Amanda, what's with that janky copy of Pride and Prejudice you're holding? Oh, I'm glad you asked because this is my original copy from high school and I ordered a really pretty edition like months ago and I forgot about it and now I don't know where it is. So I have realized there is a lost book haul somewhere in my house because I bought a bunch of books and I just realized I never hauled them. So when I find it, I will have a pre-order copy. But in the meantime, I'm gonna read Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I have been hinting a lot that I want to continue on with my Drunk Classics series, and I am finally going to be continuing on. This is the next installment of Drunk Classics. I figured, hey, why not? It feels very springy to me. It just goes with the season, and I'm going to read the shit out of this and be very drunk. And here's the thing, like, I've seen so many adaptations of this, whether it's realistic or with zombies. I have read a lot of those, but I haven't actually really read the source material. Like I said, I had this in high school. Like, did I read it? Like, I know what happens in it, but like, I haven't really like read this with any type of comprehension. So I am excited to finally get into it. I'm going to find the pretty copy. I don't know where it is, and it's upsetting me daily. So I'm gonna go hunt for it as soon as this is done. But yeah, Pride and Prejudice, Drunk Classics, it's happening this March. It's gonna be fun. Also on deck is The Widow of Rose House by Diana Miller, and guess what everybody, this is the book of the month for the Blades and Bodice Rippers book club. We are going to be having the live show on the last Saturday of the month. I will put the date on the screen because I do not know what the date is. I think it's March 27th. If I'm not mistaken, but it will be at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And Mara from Books Like Woe is going to be hosting. It's going to be really a lot of fun. This has been recommended to me several times, and finally, it's a book club pick. So, like, I have to read it now. So, I think it might be mystery horror romance. I'm not really sure, but it's about this widow, and she's kind of scandalous. Not so much, I think she's a scandalous person. I think just scandal has followed her. And she's trying to renovate this house that is very much rumored to be very haunted. And she's like, I don't believe in ghosts. And she's like, oh my gosh, what is that? So I feel like there's some ghostly things afoot. And then you have a Professor Samuel, and he is really into this house because he's trying to like investigate ghosts. He's a ghost hunter, I think. And also he like does stuff with electricity. This is like Gilded Age New York, so electricity is newfangled and cool. And he's like, I like your house a lot, and I also like you. What? I didn't say that. You misheard me. So it's that kind of thing. And I think they're trying to disprove if there's ghosts in the house, but like there's probably something else afoot and they have to deal with that. So it's a bit of a mystery, perhaps a murder mystery, perhaps some ghosts. I'm not sure. I feel like this is going to be a metaphorical ghost story, which I'm weird about. I want ghosts. Just give me ghosts. So I don't want make-believe ghosts. Give me real ghosts, damn it. So anyway, We're reading this for book club. Come join us. It's gonna be really fun. Also on deck for March, I have Winter's Orbit by Everina Maxwell. And oh, I've been wanting to read this. I got the arc and I never read things early. I'm really bad at it. But yeah, so it's kind of been described as Ancillary Justice meets Red, White, and Royal Blue. So it's sci-fi version of Red, White, and Royal Blue, which I adore. It's one of my favorite books. I love it. Give me the sci-fi version, please. So I'll just read you like this little tiny blurb here because it's like 2 sentences. And it's, the welfare of a galactic empire rests in the slippery hands of the emperor's least favorite grandson and a widower accused of murder. Their successful marriage will align conflicting worlds. Their failure will be the end of the empire. So basically there's a lot riding on these 2 guys getting together. And it might be a bit of enemies to lovers, marriage at a convenience type of story, and then they fall in love for real, and I love that. So I have been hyping this up in my brain for months now. I'm very excited to be reading it. Another super anticipated book is Blood Heir by Alona Andrews. Honestly, I can't believe I didn't read it immediately when it came out. This was pre-ordered for months and I finally got it, and I don't know why I didn't read it right away. This is a continuation of the Kate Daniels series. I love that series intensely, but now we are following Julie. In the original series, Julie was kind of a kid, and now she is obviously all grown up and kicking butt, taking names, doing magic stuff. The world building is always great in Alona Andrews books. This one is kind of Atlanta, but like post-shift Atlanta. So basically, there is like electromagnetic waves kind of that come, and with the wave comes magic, and when the wave stops coming, it turns off. So things get real weird sometimes when the magic wave is happening, and when it turns off, things are a bit more normal. So it's a very strange environment, and there's also gods and blood magic and all kinds of cool stuff. But we're not talking about Kate Daniels. That's like a 10-book series. That's a lot of books. This is a continuation with Julie, and I'm just like dying to read it. I love Alona Andrews books. They're so good. And I've been wanting to know what happens with Julie. Is she going to get with Derek the werewolf? I don't know, but like that's been heavily hinted at, and I just want to see them kiss already. So I need to read this. It needs to happen. Also on deck, I have The Name of Things by Jen Lyons, and I recently read the first book of this series, which was The Rune of Kings, back in February. Gave it 5 stars, really enjoyed it, and so I went and bought book 2. I was like, where's this gonna go? I want to see Kieran do some more crazy magical stuff. I'm into him. The big selling point, I think, for this series, I would say, is the world building and the magic system. If you're really like a geek for that, you're gonna just like sink your teeth into this and just enjoy it. It's very complex. This world has like deities and like how people relate to those deities, how the deities relate to the people, and also the magic system, and there's mages and wizards and like all kinds of stuff. There's like a lot of stuff going on here, and it's really fun. And also, like, there's a lot of like grim, dark material that happens in this book, but it's definitely skews more toward the heroic fantasy. So Kieran is definitely a protagonist that you so root for. He's very likable. Does he always make great heroic choices? No. Sometimes he can be quite morally gray. He has some questionable decisions about stuff. But overall, he's so charming that you just want to root for him. So it's kind of refreshing to see characters with morals of some kind. Because there's so many grim darks where just like characters are just devoid of morals, which can be fun in a gallows humor kind of way, but sometimes I'm just like, can I just get a person with a soul for 1 minute? So that's why I'm really getting into this series, because it's kind of heroic, but it's also really heavy fantasy and like super good. So I'm gonna continue on with the series. Kieran was in quite a pickle at the end of the first book. He's basically running for his life because everyone wants to kill him. So, you know, he has problems. I want to see how he's going to get out of them. Also on deck, I have These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. This is a Romeo and Juliet retelling, but is set in like 1920s Shanghai, China. So already I'm like, ooh, I love the environment this is set in. But the kicker here is also there's magic. or a monster of some kind, because all of a sudden people are literally ripping their own throats out. So it's a contagion or a magical plague or some type of monster is afoot. And so this is why Romeo and Juliet have to get together and work something out, because uh-oh, people are ripping their necks off. So it's definitely Romeo and Juliet, 1920 Shanghai, already I'm in, and then you throw in magical throat ripping, and I was like, oh, yes, give me this book. So I have been really excited to read this one. I think it's like a really interesting take on a retelling. So yeah, I'm gonna read it. Fingers crossed it's good. I hope. I don't know. I've heard questionable things, but I'm going into it as blind as possible. Also on deck is Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. Like, look at this cover, guys. Like, it's gorgeous. I love it intensely, and I've been wanting to read this for so long. I just hadn't got to it yet, so I was like, oh, I need this to happen. It needs to happen now. And I'll just read this little tiny blurb bit to you because it really sums up why I want to read the book so bad. And this is book 1 of the Between Earth and Sky trilogy, inspired by the civilizations of pre-Columbian Americas and woven into a tale of celestial prophecies, political intrigue, and forbidden magic. Yes! Oh my gosh, I love the magic system already. Yes, I'm so into this. Like, I don't know enough about it, but like the cover's so pretty, the premise, killing it, like that's enough already that I want it. Like, don't tell me no more, I'm already going to read it. So yes, super pumped about this one. Last book on deck for March is A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J Maas. I'm just gonna do it, you know? Like, I could wait a while before getting into it, but instead I'm just like, you know what? Let's go. Let's get this chonker on the way. Seriously, this book is chonky. Like, look how thick it is. It's 750 pages. It's so long. So I think most of you would already know this, but for the people who don't, this is a continuation of the Court of whatever series. I believe the first is a Court of Thorns and Roses, and then a Court of other things. They're all a bunch of courts. So I just been calling this court series, but anyway, this is a continuation of it, and we're kind of following a new protagonist. The first trilogy was all about Feyre. This is actually about Nesta, who is Feyre's older sister. And I don't know if this is like going to be another trilogy just about Nesta, or if it's a Nesta standalone. I actually haven't looked that up yet. But this is Nesta's story, and Cassian. Obviously, everyone's rooting for these two to get together. They were kind of very heavily hinted at in the first trilogy. So they're getting their own book now, and magical things will happen, wingspans, sexy times, magic fairies, etc. Like, it's going to be fun. Like, it's never my favorite series from Sarah J Maas, but like, I'm still gonna read it. Like, it's not a question of if I'm gonna read it, it's when am I going to read it. And obviously that's March. Alright, so that is my March TBR as it stands at the moment. I got a lot on it. Some of these books are quite thick, and some of them are kind of short too, so I got a good mix of things, a good mix of genres. But yeah, this is like a TBR list that I'm so proud of. Like, I'm so proud I put it together because all of the books on it seem like great. I'm so pumped. Let me know in the comments down below, what's a book that you recently decided to read and you're really excited about? Because I've just given you a whole list of mine. What book are you excited about at the moment? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, make sure you give it a like, and if you want to see more videos, make sure you subscribe. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye!